Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for Dinesh Vijan and Shraddha Kapoor, who finally made it, waded through all the flight delays, braved the Delhi AQI, and finally here with us at the India Economic Conclave. Welcome to New Delhi. You can take your mic.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having us here.
So how does it feel? 3-2, 600 crore rupee grosser, 900 worldwide. I don't know. Are people already counting the zeros? Did you know how many zeros there are in 900 crores, Shraddha?
Dinesh, Dinu knows.
He's the money man, yeah.
Lots of them.
Which is equivalent to a lot of love.
A lot of love. But how does it feel, getting so much recognition and so much love for a sequel of a movie?
It feels, this experience with Stree 2 has been insanely personal for me, if I may say so. Even with the first part, it's been so close to me. It's been a very important part of my filmography, one of my most special films. It was a film which has paved the way for the horror comedy genre in India. And for the sequel to do so brilliantly the way that it did is very, very heartwarming. It's brilliant for the industry. And it's a very proud moment for me to be a part of a film like this.
Absolutely. Dinesh, did you imagine when you were making one that this is going to be such a blockbuster and the second part is going to create such a, raving and huge response and get in all those crores?
I have I lost my father very early, and my mother has played a very important role in my life, and I have two sisters. So Strees have been very essential in my life. And, this film, the first one, though the second one's bigger, the first one was tougher to make. Because it was a title called Stree. At that point of time, people felt, the overall consensus was that you cannot have a title like Stree that would do well in Hindi cinema. So it was a little difficult to secure funding, so we had to do it on our own. But I think Stree paved the way for Maddock. Where Maddock is today, I would say two films that have defined it are Hindi Medium and Stree, which are essentially Indian films with Indian characters. And I think today where we are, and India is the growth story, but the fact that we're very proud of who we are, and I think Stree demonstrates that. It's completely original. There's no horror comedy in the world. You'll get horror, you'll get comedy, but you won't get them together. You'll get a spoof, but you won't get a true horror comedy. So it's kind of paved the way for horror comedies. We also had a film that came 2 months before that called Munja, where we had a CGI character. So clearly people in theaters enjoy watching horror comedies, but hopefully good horror comedies. But what has happened is when it came, it was very important for the business. Post-pandemic, there was a lot of uncertainty. We didn't know what kind of films will do well. So I think Stree doing well has just been very, very good. Like they say sometimes the business is competitive. Everybody in the business was rooting for Stree to do well. And the fact that the #1 Hindi film ever is Stree really shows the potential of the box office. So I think, my mother always says you must be grateful. So I think Shraddha, me, Raj, Apar, Amar Kaushik, our director, Pankaj ji, I don't think there's Stree is possible without the whole team, but we are just feeling very, very grateful.
Yeah. But Shraddha, was it difficult for you to be a mainline Hindi film actor to actually accept such a role, which had a kind of supernatural tinge? I wouldn't call you being the ghost in the movie. You were definitely not, but you did have a supernatural wing to it, if I can call it that.
I feel like more than this particular character trait, it was the story, out and out the story. Even with Stree 1.
And what a beautiful message it had.
Exactly. And the best part about Stree and Stree 2 is you're subliminally expressing relevant, you're addressing relevant issues or relevant conversations that are going on in society in the most entertaining manner. And I don't think that there's any better way to do that, right? So for me, more than a particular trait of a character, It was the story. It was out and out the story. It was out and out the fact that it was so well written. The first part I'm talking about because the journey began there. It was so well written. At that point, I heard it and I was on my couch and I fell off my couch because I was laughing and I was like, okay, you know what? This is a film that I would want to go and watch. And this is a kind of film that I've not seen in theaters as yet. It is a story which is very relatable, but the world is so unique. The way that it's being told is so unique. So I thought that that was the most fascinating thing. And along with that, the fact that Stree 2 also, the fact that Dino and the rest of the Maddock team very, very consciously decided that we only have to make a sequel if we crack it right. And that's exactly what they did, which is why I feel that that responsibility as a producer is something that he took up very seriously, and he didn't just make a sequel for the sake of, banking on a successful film. He decided on it very responsibly. So it was out and out the story with both part 1 and part 2. And then, of course, I got to beat the bad guy with my choti, which was a lot of fun as well.
What did you do with the chutiya, though?
What did I do?
With the choti?
Oh, it had a lot of magical powers in it. And I think that it's so empowering, right, for young girls and women to watch a character like that coming and kind of saving the day, at that moment in the film. And it really excited me for that as well, to play that and that moment in the film.
But Dinesh, why the sort of fascination with sci-fi and ghosts? And such pretty-looking sci-fi characters and ghosts, if I may call it that. I mean, you had Teri Baaton Mein, wherein Kriti Sanon played the robot. And then you have gorgeous Shraddha here. Because all of us traditionally have thought of ghosts to not look so pretty.
My dadi called me up and she said, "Tujhe kya ho gaya? Tu sab heroinon ko chudail kyun bana raha hai?"
Okay. I was just being very diplomatic and polite.
No, I think on a slightly serious note, if you're not unique, films are not going to fire. I think we're a very young country, and if you want to go to the theater, it is an expensive proposition. And if you don't give them something they haven't seen before, they're not going to come. If you look at the last 2 years, pandemic was uncertain. Post that, we've had 500 crore films. That's never happened in history. But they all 5 are unique. There have not been a film like that. You might agree, not like, disagree, but they brought people to the theater. So I feel that you need to be unique. And obviously, I think you can't make a horror comedy without a beautiful ghost. And I'm fortunate to begin that with Shraddha, because she did really, the first one, you did want to believe she's the ghost taking them away. You didn't want to believe what she's doing with them when she takes them away. So I feel that if you're unique, and I think it's easier to find subjects, and I think the women in the film business were more easily took risks. So Shraddha heard it the next day she was doing the film. She really has a contagious laugh, so I've never seen her laugh that much. I didn't know if she meant it or it was the first time I was meeting her. Was she just being polite?
That's the Chudel trait, na? The laughter
so
has to be there.
You are saying it, not me. So,
I didn't say that for you.
So I feel that we want to be unique, and women were a little more risk-taking in the film business. And I think the fact that a horror comedy cannot be made without a ghost.
I also want to add actually to what Dinu said, because what he said is so interesting. He spoke about people wanting to come to the theaters for something unique, right? When Stree 1 happened, we broke a stereotype.
Yeah.
And now it paved the way for other horror comedy films to also, come through. Even films like Shaitan or Drishyam 2, they are breaking stereotypes. And I think that is exciting as an industry. And it's very exciting to be a part of that. And I feel like the fact that, these characters, whether it's my character that I'm playing, they are strong characters for women to play. And it's such an exciting time that you get to play such a strong character who is acting active in the narrative of the film, in the storytelling, right? So it's an exciting time even for that, even for women in cinema
I think
today.
you should talk about how you felt when you walked into the theater with your choti sequence. Because she was right next to you.
What's that?
No, it was, I mean,
And it was in Delhi.
exactly. So again, such a unique moment, right? Where do you see a woman with
choti anymore.
a superpower in her choti? It's brilliant. It's unique. It's a new way of bringing a new facet to a character on the big screen.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing that you touched upon, that women-centric roles. And I mean, why are we going any further? Lapata Ladies. I mean, who would have thought such a simple movie about, rural India can touch so many hearts and now perhaps reach the global stage as well? Shraddha, do you feel that now for women, it's no more the dancing around trees in fancy clothes, and the roles and opportunities and the scripts have evolved from where they were even 5 years back?
I am so happy that you've worded this question in this manner, because oftentimes people ask this question in a very different manner. Do you think, that women get their due, or do you think that, in that sense, which is a fair question, but I completely agree with you. I think this is the best time in cinema for everybody, filmmakers, directors, actors. This is the time where you have, especially after the pandemic, also with the rise of the OTT, where there are so many more opportunities, new talent coming up. You have new talent who are willing to make those choices where they are saying that, okay, we want to spearhead this film where I am the protagonist. Yeah. So you don't necessarily have to be an established female actor as well now, because people are having that faith in younger actors as well to spearhead films. So even, for example, even though my film Hasina didn't do well, for me, I wanted to do strong characters. Just the way Dinu also offered me Stree, I was like, you're offering me a film called Stree, you're offering me a character who's so strong. So, yeah, absolutely. I think it's a fabulous time. I think that, whoever's watching this, they should also, young girls who want to get into the industry, I would say just go for it. Anybody who's a newbie, go for it. There's ample opportunity and it's the best time right now.
But Dinesh, tell me, is there a formula on how you crack the code? Because, your movies have now sort of delved into the supernatural realm. You've cracked the code there. You're coming up with sequels. There's Bhedia, Munja, there's, of course, Stree. It's almost like a franchise Marvel kind of, franchise model that you've sort of cracked the code with. Do you think it's more about scripts? Do you think it's about innovation, offering something new? And by the end of it, do you think it always revolves around the actors that you cast?
So I think it always starts with the script. And I think, it sounds simple, but when I came in the business, no one really wanted to write the 100 pages. They wanted to, get the setup done, get a top star or top actor to make the project viable, which I understand, and then probably write. I'm first generation, so we were not first in line for that opportunity. So we had to write. Fortunately, what happened was, when I came in, we were doing love stories. We were a little aspirational to the West 15 years ago. So we did the Love Aajkals, the cocktails. But I think Hindi medium, Badlapur and Stree changed a lot of things. I realized, whatever's happening in a nation reflects in films, ideally, and whatever happens in a film also has the ability to influence people. So we need to be a little responsible. So we got the opportunity when Hindi medium fired, we understood that we are very proud of who we are. And when we started looking, we realized that we have a khazana. We have so much folklore. We are such a old, diverse, rich culture with so many stories. And honestly, all our stories are coming from there. So the story of Stree is a legend in South India. Munja is a legend in Maharashtra.
But you shot it in Rajasthan.
Yeah, we shot in MP.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we've done now, we have 5 horror comedies. All 5 are from different regions. Bhedia is in Arunachal. There's Central. There's South. Vampire set down south. We've got two other entrants into the franchise, which is Chamunda and Shakti Shalini. More on that later, but that will cover all of India. So I realized that people wanted characters that they could relate to. Our middle class and lower were very excited to go to the theatre. I don't think Bombay, Delhi, the really upmarket centers were going for every film. So they wanted characters that they saw aspiration in. So a Zara Hatke has done well. Therefore a Munjha has done well. Therefore a Stree has done well. So I think you need to be unique. You need to be Indian. And you need to make it at a world standard. I don't think people are willing to accept from each other something that's just about half good. So if you do these three things, I think you're set up for success. And then obviously you need a little element of a little power from there. But if you get these three right, you're okay.
But you understand the numbers as well. From what I understand, you were an investment banker, and
very
then you,
shortly.
Okay, and then you made the jump to producing movies. What a fascinating story! How did this happen?
Since then, I've never given investment bankers my money.
Don't say that. You're at India Economic Conclave.
No, I mean, so I mean because I had to put it in movies. I think right now is the most interesting time in films. Like I said, post-pandemic, the Indian box office has never given such big hits. But I feel with the digital revolution, I think just imagine if you were given a QR code instead of a ticket. And you could choose to watch that film at home, on a phone, with some VR glasses, or go to the theatre. And the option was yours. Right now, the biggest films only 4 to 5 crore people watch. Imagine if that number became 10 times. Imagine the kind of films we could get made. Imagine where would we be on a world level. So I think I used to always believe content is king, and now I've understood. A very wise gentleman told me that distribution is God. So I think numbers will grow exponentially because the technology is coming in to do it, and it's going to be there in a couple of years. And with the advent of AI, filmmaking is going to become cheaper. Like she said, every girl out there who wants to be an entertainer. Also, any director, writer, producer can sit at home and make photoreal images in a couple of years. So you're going to see, we have the consumption. We're a young country. We're going to get a lot of new voices from across India that are going to be able to sit at home and make content. And I think that cannot be calculated. It's going to be so huge that it's going to put us in a different orbit.
Shraddha, does it scare you, this fast-changing world? I mean, he's already talking about everything being virtual. You know, we're used to grabbing a bag of popcorn and watching movies and, you know, hoping one day that we'll meet stars in person like you and get a picture clicked. From there to now to what the world is going to be, as an actor, how do you feel about it?
I have to say, the fact that we've had really terrific VFX in our film, thanks to Dinu's vision, Dinesh's vision. It's very promising. I think that people enjoyed that progressive move in our cinema. It's been accepted really, really well. It elevated our narrative to a whole other level, the film to a whole other level. I feel that, and he's a huge risk taker. Which is, I feel, very important if you also want to push your cinema forward. So he is essentially playing a part in pushing cinema forward, which is incredible. So when we were talking about Stree 2, and he sat down and he seriously told me, you know, I have really big plans for the VFX of this film. I got so excited. I got really, really excited. And he also said he has a really big budget for the VFX of the film. I got even more excited because
Was it as big a paycheck?
Sorry?
Was it as big a paycheck?
Oh, the VFX had the biggest paycheck in our film.
Okay.
And that is also actually to address so many other conversations, right? When you talk about how a film gets made, actor, pay parity, etc. I feel a responsible producer who has a vision will know exactly what he needs to, be putting his funds into and in what manner. So I feel like he has he absolutely has the genius for that. So I was very excited about being a part of a film which is going to be on such a scale and such a visual treat. So I am fully embracing VFX. I'm embracing our lovely Sarkata coming on the big screen and terrorizing everybody, and being a part of this. Absolutely.
But tell me, Shraddha, we're here to talk about as to how India can fast track to the top 3 economies in the world, and Bollywood can, or I should say the Hindi film industry can play a very big role in that. I mean, we're already talking single movie, thousands of crores of rupees. What a big contribution it will be to the GDP. As an actor, though, where does it put you? Because a lot of responsibility lies on the people in front of the camera to promote, to be the brand ambassadors, the faces that are recognized. I mean, you had an Alia Bhatt who's now a brand ambassador for Gucci. You had Ranveer Singh playing an all-star NBA game. We had a recent spate of wedding festivities where they got Rihanna literally out of her retirement and come and perform. So, all of this put together really puts India on the global map where people like turn around and see. And then, of course, there was Deepika Padukone as well, who unveiled the FIFA trophy.
I didn't understand your question.
No,
I'm so
what
sorry.
I mean to say is, the pressure on actors to be out there in the limelight, to be seen at the right places, does that bog you down? Or is it part of the drill now? It's a must do and you've got to do it.
I don't see it like wanting to be seen at the right places. I see it very, very simply just the way I see approaching doing a film. I am very picky with the kind of films that I do. Dinesh knows this very, very well. I had so much confidence in Stree that I decided I'm not going to sign any other film. I don't need to have a lineup. I am so confident about being a part of this film. And that is a fundamental way that I approach pretty much everything that I do. Be it, being a co-founder on my jewelry brand as well. So it is something that it needs to feel 100% right. It needs to be a collaboration where you're working with people who really are passionate about what they do as well. So for me, I approach it in that way. I feel also that the phase that we are in as a country, not just for Indian films, for entrepreneurs, for startups, we're in the best phase that we could ever be in. So who knows, my jewelry brand could probably be the next global
Tiffany's.
Global brand. Who knows? I'm striving for that. We're all striving for, bigger dreams.
Dinesh, is it important as a producer to cast actors who have that big fan base, who are sort of semi-global ambassadors, appeal to the global diaspora as well, and have a huge following?
I'm sure it is, but in our case, we've cast actors that suit the character. And I think there's a slight difference between being really popular and being an actor. The films of ours that
are popular because they're good actors?
Not necessarily. In the sense, I don't mean it in a negative connotation. What I mean is that if that actor, I can't see anyone but Rajkumar Rao to play Vicky. I can't see anyone but Shraddha to play Stree. Like that, I can't see anyone but late Irfan Khan to play Hindi medium. So I feel that once you get your script, that should decide how relevant it is in the demographic of your country. Once you know how relevant it is, that should decide the budget. Then, of course, if an A actor comes who brings something more to the table, you add to it. But I think the time has gone where you say, this actor does this box office. I think it's the other way around, how the relevance to India should come from the story. And I think actors have accepted that. That's why directors have got empowered. I think the true stars of my company are the writers and directors. And they've built Maddock from ground up.
Absolutely. And you know what a responsibility the Hindi film industry and the kind of domino effect that it has, not just because of the employment that it generates, the kind of technological advancements that you guys put money in because you have the capital to do that, but also, I mean, influence in simple things like tourism, right? I mean, back in the day, everyone wanted to go to Kashmir because Yash Chopra made it beautiful, and then Switzerland and the tulips in Holland, the influence that the Hindi film industry has in various sectors.
I think, for example, Chanderi, we knew, but Chanderi sarees have become a little more popular after Stree. After Zara Hatke, Indore, where my mother and my grandmama are from, is better known. So I feel Indian, because we're trying to make films across India, it has the potential of putting our culture on the global map. And that is actually the biggest soft power that we have. If you look at the West, you know, there are so many times America's always saving the day. So I want to do films, hopefully this year, in which Indians save the world. You know, it would be a lot more fun for us. So I think tourism is the biggest advantage that we can bring to the table. Yeah. So more than, you know, there are industries that really contribute a lot. I think the ability to influence people, this business has, this industry has. So that's a responsibility that the films have and she has. Yeah. And the tourism can definitely benefit. And I think even the government is making, they're connecting all the embassies if we want to showcase our content. We had a recent meeting and I think that's amazing because imagine, remember Devdas's premiere was in Cannes. Yeah. So I feel that it's now that our quality is world quality, we should be taking our films. And I think all the possibility is there.
Shraddha, though, the other part of it, you know, we had Vikrant Massey as well join in, and he was talking about the struggles and how the burnout ratio and, you know, how sometimes it takes a toll on you. You don't have time for simple things in life. Do you think today's actors, because of the kind of glare on them, can't say wrong, can't be seen doing wrong, the kind of high pressure that you guys go through sometimes also takes a toll? There is a downside also to it.
I actually say whatever I want to say. And I feel like I feel like that, this is also a little bit of a misconception, if I may say. So I feel like there isn't that much pressure, very honestly. I don't know why there is that notion. It is, I think we also live in different times now, you know. I think the audiences are also very happy to see actors just be regular people. Yeah. And they also enjoy an actor probably sharing a piece of their day on social media or just, you know, doing something that everybody else does. So I feel like there isn't really so much pressure, to be very, very honest. I think that I am truly very blessed to just be doing what I'm doing. I don't take the pressure of anything except for the fact that I want to do a good job in front of the camera. That's literally the healthy pressure that I take.
But does it help to already have trained people at home guide you? Not just your father, but your prolific aunt as well?
Oh, absolutely. It's, I mean, whenever I get an opportunity to speak to them, my father did 700 plus films. I mean, who gets to do that in one lifetime? It's phenomenal. And he has come from no film background. He comes from a textile background. My aunt started when she was 8 years old. She got the opportunity to work with Raj Kapoor. So the kind of stories that I have heard at home just keep blowing my mind, you know. And I take every single opportunity to sit and be like, you know, chalo chai pee ke baatein karte thoda sa aur batana please. And it's very inspiring, very, very inspiring. I feel very, very, very grateful to be able to do what they have done as actors. I mean, acting. Not what they have done. I mean, it would be something if I even do 0.2% of what they've done.
So tell me, what's a day like with Shraddha Kapoor? At home, when you're not working, when you're just chilling with your dad at home?
extremely entertaining. If all of you are aware,
So he's the same on screen and at home.
he's actually funnier in real life.
Give us an anecdote.
He is. I mean, that's exactly where he gets it from. His spontaneity on the big screen is because he is like that in real life. He's extremely intelligent. And he expresses his intelligence in a very casual, very easy manner, like he's just like a t-shirt, you know. And that is something that is so inspiring because I also believe humor comes from high intelligence. And so he's constantly, even in his normal
Prime
conversation.
Master Gogo Avatar.
And
Has that ever come at home?
At home, he's just very funny. He's making everybody laugh at home. Everybody. We're always in splits.
So what's next for Shraddha Kapoor then? Other than a happy home, balanced life, not going to take pressure, what next?
I'm hoping Dinu starts three very soon because I'm very excited about that. And I mean, I hope to do as many films as I can with Maddock and with Dinesh because I think that he is one of the finest producers that we have today, making just terrific films. Aside from that, very soon I would officially announce what I'm doing next. Not yet.
Okay. When anyone says officially announced, okay.
Ajni.
Okay. Still eligible bachelorette.
We're talking about what I'm doing next,
Yes,
right?
exactly. That's what I'm
Okay.
clarifying.
Okay.
So Shraddha, before we wind up, just one request. This is the closing panel for the conclave, and you have a beautiful voice, and we only hope that you can make her sing next in your movies. One line for our audiences. And I'll tell you my favorite song of yours from your first movie, Ashiki.
I will only sing if the audience starts singing first. अगर आप सब नहीं गाओगे फिर next time गा लेंगे.
Okay, so cue them and then they will pick up. Yeah, there you go.
आप गाओगे?
She will. Hum tere bin, right? Girl power. Come on, let's have one.
हेलो आइए ना आगे आपका नाम सिंपल बेदी इज विथ मी सिंपल जी आपको हमारी फिल्म का गाना पता है आई नहीं काटी रात मैंने
Shraddha, you've got to do the moves also with it. If you're singing that one, then it can't be just singing.
Okay, I think Simple Ji should sing and I will accompany her.
सुन रहा है ना तू रो रही हूँ मैं सुन रहा है ना तू क्यों रो रही हूँ
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now your turn.
I think that she did a great job. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
One line. She did her bit. She did her bit.
She did a
Now,
great
now
job.
it's your turn.
Which one should I sing?
Hum tere bin.
Hum Tere Bin. I think we should sing. We've moved on from that now. I feel that we can sing. What do you think? Dino, we can sing one of our songs. Why don't you sing with me?
No, then it won't be a song.
Come on.
You know my voice. Go for it.
Thinking. So see, I Nahi has a very different vibe. Okay, so I will sing a different version of it. काटी रात मैंने oh my god this is completely making it like a romantic song काटी रात मैंने खेतों में तू आई नहीं काटी रात मैंने खेतों में तू आई नहीं नहीं आई 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 तू तो आई नहीं
Okay, I'm sure the success will definitely come. Aa jayegi and aati rahegi. Right? Thank you so much, Shraddha. It was fabulous talking to you. And Dinesh, kudos to you. I know you made the switch from investment banking to Bollywood, but bigger zeros and many more zeros to you. Thank you so much, both of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.